Hello, beautiful people, and how are you all doing today? It's another beautiful Saturday evening, and it is Parenting Essentials time. Thank you for joining me again today. Sorry, apologies, I'm a few minutes late because we were trying to check at the mic to ensure everything is okay, migrating from one account to the other. As you know that the old account is back, so we're trying to put it on software. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know where you're joining me from. It's another beautiful, beautiful Saturday evening, and I believe you're having a great time wherever you're joining me from. Also, so if you're seeing my face for the very first time today, my name is Oye Layo, but you can call me Oye for short. And hi, I'm your parenting coach, and this is called the Parenting Essentials, coming to you from the Vision Guide. All right, let me see who's there. Let me know if I'm audible, if you can hear me clearly, and we're gonna get started. Who is there? Am I audible? Am I audible? Who is there? Who is there? Who is there? Who is joining me today? Let me know that I am audible. Let me be sure I'm even live and you can see me. Who is there? Parenting Essential. Today we are doing some questioning. Let's question it. We are going to be asking ourselves some questions. We are going to be looking in depth on some of our experiences as a child growing up and the things we were supposed to question. Did we really question them? Are we doing the same error this time around? And these are the things we're going to be looking at today. I want to be sure I'm live as I can. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for joining. Okay, I can see Sister Bella there. Thank you for joining me from Europe. The sound is not so audible. Okay, that is why I was a bit late. We noticed that and we thought it was okay. All right, just a moment. Let's see what we can do about it. Let me know if you can hear me more better. Sound, sound, sound. Is it better? Is it better? Let me just manage it. Okay, very good. Thank you, Sister Bella. Thank you so much, Sister Bella. All right, let's question it. Call somebody to call somebody that it is parenting essential time. Kindly let me know where you're joining me from. All right, let's question it. What are we questioning today? What are the things that we need to question? What are the things that we actually questioned growing up when it really caused us issues and problems? So I want us to do some kind of reflection today and being truthful to ourselves. I just want you to have a reflection on your childhood experience, your middle school time, your teenage stage. What were the things that you actually struggled with? What were the things that you saw your parents doing, or families and friends, church family, mosque family, whatever it is, and you actually knew something was not just right within you, but there was nothing you could do or nothing much you could do. But that thing gave you a kind of little psychological issue, like asking questions. Why is this okay? Was that actually right? Or were there something that you actually did and you were judged by it, or you were chastised, you were punished, but deep down you didn't do anything wrong, but just like, I didn't do wrong, or I just want to say this or this. I just wanted to start thinking about these experiences, and as I get started today, we have to really talk about this. When we talk about old traditional way of parenting and the new generation traditional ways rather of parenting, there are quite a lot of things that the margin between two is so wide. The margin between two is so wide, and that's why I'll just be saying a few things today. And I hope you're going to get something out of today and you start doing what you're supposed to do. I'll start doing, if I'm not doing it, what I'm supposed to do. So we're going to talk about some traditional parenting methods that have been questioned over the time for not producing optimal results. What are the traditional parenting methods? The parenting method that you were used, your parents used on you, your grannies used on your parents, your great great granny used on your parents, and how far? How is it? Is it going to work for you in this generation? Is that still what you're using? And that is what we're going to be talking about today. So I want you to know that as a person, I'm not talking about parent in this case, as an individual. Before you become a parent, before you are into parenting, be it a biological parent or you're just a caregiver or whatever it is, before you come into parenting, you were first a person. So I'm talking about the person. As a person, you so you are the system that engineered you. You are a product of the system that engineered you as a person. You are the product of a system that produced you. Maybe that is going to be clearer. The system that produced you, the family you came from, the ways, the nurturing you got. No matter how you have worked on yourself, because I know a lot of us have worked really so much on ourselves, but the system that produced you, if you are not careful, if there's something you need to work on and you don't do it, you might end up just being there and dragging the next generation to still be there. And that might look like something like a stagnant or a roller coaster kind of thing. So you have to know that the system that produced you has much say on your personal person, or has much say on the person you have become, or you have become. The system that produced you. So you have to know that culture is progressive. You have heard so many people say that's our culture, that's what we believe. When it can be parenting, it can be about your belief, the way you handle things. But this is a common thing that people will tell you, that's our culture, that's how we do things. I'm not saying there is no culture or you should not believe in your culture, but I want you to know that culture is progressive. And it is not a cast on stone. It is not like something that is rigid. Who made the culture that you're using now? Have you ever questioned your culture? Have you ever asked yourself, why this culture? What brought about this culture? There's so many things that we call culture today that they know, I can't change this. It has always been from what? How did that start? When you know that culture is progressive, it is going to have a great effect on your parenting. When you start to realize that culture, it is not a rigid situation, but a progressive thing, your life, your styling in parenting is going to be much more easier. And these are the things that I want us to know before I go in depth today. So you have to know that the community that you came from also has something to do with who you have become today. So all the committee of, that's how my parent did it. All the gathering and society or people, association of that was how my parent did it. Can we gather here and talk this a minute? This is exactly what I saw my grandparent did, and I'm going to do the same. Don't mind this generation coaches, you see people saying a lot of things like they call themselves life coach. How many life have they lived? They call themselves Gen Z parenting. Can we gather here and talk sense into ourselves? It's high time we have to talk. We have to talk. It's high time to talk. And my parents just did like that, and you cannot touch it because it's also culture. Let's talk. Please tell me, was your parent on phone? Your grandparent that you said they did it just like that. Let's talk about your grandparent or your great grandparents. Were they on gadgets? Were they on iPhone? Were they on Android? All right, let's leave that alone. Were they on social media? I want you to be answering this question so that it's going to help us to understand where we are going to today. Were your grandparents, your great grandparents, even your own parents, were they on social media? Let's be talking, let's be answering questions. Maybe they were on TikTok, maybe. Because when you get to TikTok today, for those who are on TikTok, all you see is young girls twerking, doing a lot of things just to get points, because I heard that TikTok is paying daily, right? So everybody is on the business of, I have to do something. And if you look at our generation, you realize that it's craziness. Something that is very crazy that is selling. For you to make it, you have to go crazy. And people are really ready, extra ready to go wow and crazy for them to make it. So back to my question. Was your grandparent, your great grandparent on this TikTok? Were they on Facebook? Maybe they use Twitter or Instagram, perhaps. Or is it Thread? Start answering yourself, because I'm going somewhere. For those who always say, though I will not listen. My great parent did the same, and that is what I will do. For you to say, it's my culture and I'm going to stick to it. when you start asking yourself these questions, maybe it's going to help you to understand where I'm driving at. Some of your great-grandparents, they didn't even watch the screen. And I mean the television, the TV. Your great-great-grandparents, they didn't even see the screen. Even if they saw the screen at that time, what was on the screen? Can you think about it? What was on the screen? If they even saw the black and white screen, if they had, or if they have, what would be on the screen at that time? And these are the things we have to question ourselves as we go deeper in this topic. You know, many people, we often say, so, I really want to change my children for good. A lot of parents, caregivers, I've heard this over the time. I want to change I want to change my children for good. I need my parents to, I kept saying parents, come on, relax. I need my children to change for good. I just want them to change, coach. I have tried my best. They are not changing. You know, anytime I have the opportunity of hearing this or I hear parents saying this, what comes to my mind is, can we just leave those children alone for a moment and think about how we're going to change ourselves? You want your children to change for good, but how are you planning to change yourself for good? We need to pause for a moment. Think about changing yourself. I need to think about changing myself, changing me. Trust me, if you use that energy that you're trying hard to use to change your children, if you use the same energy to change you, you're going to see the desired result you want to see in the life of your children fall in place naturally, almost all the time. If you change you, if you work on you, instead of using the extra effort, having blood pressure on what your children are doing, and you have a reflection on yourself, it's going to be a huge result. So we have to question ourselves, what is working? It is time to question ourselves, what are the things that are actually working? Once we can identify those things that are working, we are going to embrace it. And question yourself on the things that are not working. Question those things that are not working. When you are able to identify those things that are not working, that is when you can move. That is when you can make progress. Even on this, let's bring it back to parenting, to parenting. But this is not just applicable to parenting. Applicable to your business, to your life, everything pertaining your life. If you can question what is not working, there's high tendencies that we are going to get the desired result, because we're going to see. We're not going to call black green because we want to believe it's green, but it's totally up to us. This is a personal race. It is totally up to you to see blue and say, I just choose to call it black. Trust me, if you go for a lie detected test, you're going to pass, because that is what your brain has believed. But you might never get the desired result. That is only but. You might never. So all the association of always telling your children to shut up, keep quiet. I am your mom, I am your dad. Can we come together and talk? All the association of people saying, you cannot know more than me. I've been here. I am your mother. Just keep quiet and do what I ask you to do. Can you see the way I'm looking at it? Those associations, this is just the way I'm looking at you today. Can you see my face? That is the exact way I'm looking at you. Because we need to gather ourselves together and know how many are we, how many is this side, and how many people are on this lane. Or you say every day, even your children are tired of hearing you say, I am your parent, just do it. That brings me back to a memory lane, and I'm going to be sharing it shortly. Just do it. Just do it. They don't have the right to ask why, because you don't even know your why. Do you know how many times that we run away from our children asking us, Mommy, why do I have to do this? Daddy, why? And you get upset. One, you are coming from somewhere. It might be a trauma. I'm not going to ascertain you on that, but might be a trauma. Two, the second reason why you always get upset when your children ask you why this is because you don't actually know why. It is just a make-believe pattern in your head that you have seen over the time that you did not question, but you want to pass it to the next generation. But trust me, this generation will not just swallow it. They want to know why. They really want to know why. But because you were brought up without asking why, and you are very upset now because the children of the generation want to know why, and you don't know why they should ask you why. You don't know your why as parent. Can we go back to that point? You don't actually know your why. That is why you're upset. Because if you actually know your why, it should not be a problem. You just tell the child and ask why. Because we are doing this because, but you don't know why you're doing it. You just want them to swallow it. Sorry, it's not going to work. And if you are the type that are already struggling on your parenting, it's going to bring a lot of struggles. So can you start to question those things that you do? Can you embark in questioning those things that are not working and ask, why are they not working? Why do you even think of doing this in the first place? Why am I going to on this route in the first place? Start asking yourself questions. Because we can only grow. We can only grow when we are willing to, when we are willing, when we are ready, when we are open-hearted to embrace what is working. You can only succeed in your parenting, in your business, in your career, when you're willing, when you're open-hearted to unlearn, to relearn, and to learn again. To embrace that which you see that is working. Some of us were doing something that was working initially, but you know, we just change and think we want to change face of things and it's not working. But you know, the pride of going back to what we used to do is like, no, that is what we do. This is who we are. This is not who we are. You're just living in denial to embrace what is working. And the moment we are just grounding ourselves and encouraging ourselves that this is going to work and this is who we are, the result is not guaranteed. We might not see any results. So I remember one common thing that with parents in general is the belief that, you know, whenever an elder or a friend of your parent just says something to your parent about you, they just believe it. I'll try to explain that. I saw this a lot growing up. And I remember this, I can link this up to a video I did sometimes back, maybe about 3 years ago, talking about a selfish parent. And sacrificing your children on the altar of family, friends. And I remember saying in that video, saying your friends can walk away, your parent can actually walk away, but you wouldn't like your children to walk away. So this is one of the common things that happened that I saw as a child that we need to question. Is maybe, for example, my friend's mom saw me somewhere. Maybe I'm talking to a boy. She doesn't know who this boy is. She doesn't know if you're friends, if you're talking about homework, they just go, I saw your daughter talking to a boy. Talking to a boy automatically translates to they're doing something bad. They might be having something, you know, mindset, wrong mindset. And because the parent of those days, they do not want to like disrespect their friends, their families, whatever it is, or the person that reported, they are just going to take it in without listening to your own part. And so many of us at that time, you are dead. Like you are dead. You are as good as dead. Let's question these things. Are you still doing the same thing with your children today? Does it actually make sense that your children cannot actually tell you something? Can I tell you this as a parent? One of the best ways you can succeed in parenting is for you to know that you trust your children no matter what. Even if you're sensing some things, never give them the idea that you're having doubt about them. The moment you're giving your children doubt that you don't actually trust them, it's going to lead to a disaster. The child is even trying to tell you, Mommy, can I explain? It's just my classmate. We're just talking about the homework. So why do you have to be standing on the road to be talking to a boss? Sorry, Mommy. Can I question where they should be to talk about homework? Can I ask you, where exactly do you think they should have been? In your bedroom or in their bedroom to talk about homework? If it's not supposed to be on the road or on the way, on the, you know, can we just start questioning the things that didn't actually give results? So that we can embrace those things that actually produce the results. And many of our parents those days, trust me, they actually knew that you were not doing anything. But because they want to respect their friends or family, and because they actually don't want to, like, let me protect my child. A lot of children that went astray in the previous generation, they were actually endangered by their children, by their parents. This idea was not actually there in the first place. They had no idea, they had no, they don't want to do anything bad. But the parent exposed them to it, accusing them of wrongdoing without doing anything wrong, and they embraced it. What you have been punished for not doing, you want to just do it, right? Anyways, I'm being punished for not doing it. Let me just do it and know why I'm being punished. So a lot of children were victim of this situation. That is a situation, handling situation that we need to question. Is that what you're still doing today? I trust nobody is doing that. That's just by the way. I don't believe anybody in this 2024 will treat a child like that. So that was just by the way. I don't want to believe you are. And this event made me to remember something that happened when I was growing up. At this point, I should be a teenager, if I'm not mistaken. And we were in the choir rehearsal at this particular time. And I think I was the oldest. I was the one leading the children at this time. We were just doing the rehearsal. I can't really say what age I was, but I should not be more than 13, 14, if I'm not mistaken. So we were at the rehearsal, and one of the boys just said, I'm not going to listen to you. Are you not the one they saw on the streets yesterday night with a boy? My head was like bang, 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 like that. The sound, my head was, I was really singing in my head, like me and everything. And the boy mentioned the person that said it. I don't want to be calling names. I don't want to be saying pastors and everything. And I just kept quiet. I let it slide. I was privileged to see the person that said it the following day, and I walked straight. Trust me, this person was sitting on the pulpit. After the service, I walked straight. Good afternoon, sir. I was told you saw me with a boy. I can see it's years back, but I could still remember the countenance of the face, and I said, no, not your own Esther. It was the other Esther. And I felt relieved. What I did was, at that point, I knew I was going to do it. I knew that was the right thing to do, to give me, because I lost my peace. But do you know what I did was an error to so many parents at that point? Why would you walk to an elderly person and ask this and that? But I had my peace back. I was not rude. I just needed an answer to a question. And I've always been that girl. And I got my answers, and that gave me peace. So imagine if I did not ask. I know it can be a trauma that is going to stay with me for the rest of my life. Because in court, we are not supposed to ask. Just say, okay. That will have given me a very bad idea, and I will, okay, anyways, I've been accused anyways. So we have to be very careful when we are dealing with our children of this generation. Just know it's okay to ask questions. Our job is to teach our children not to be rude, be mannered, manners of approach, how they can place words. But never say, don't ask me questions. You cannot know more than me. My dear, your children, see this, I'm looking at you. See, those children that you're always telling they don't know more than you, they're just looking at you that I wish you know that you don't know anything. A child, a teenager that you're already giving gadget to, they are on Facebook, they are on TikTok. You are telling such child that they cannot know more than you. You are on your own. No. See, this parenting essential. I don't want to come for anybody. Visioners, we understand. They're just always looking at you like you don't know what you're saying. What are you actually talking about? What is this mom talking about? We don't know more than you. Really? So you have to always be careful about this and be conscious of these things. You have to. So let's talk about some of the ways that we need to question, or the things that we should not engage in this our time. Sometimes back, I think about last year or 2 years ago, I dealt in details the type of parental styles, I think about 2 years ago. So this is just a recapping, so you already know. I talk about authoritarian parenting. And that is what a lot of us are still doing today. Just do it. There is this word that I cannot forget in a long time. It's still in my head. It's in my dialect. I'm a Yoruba. And the word says, Magbama Shumato. It means just do whatever you're asked to do. That's how I can explain it. Do whatever you're asked to do. Don't question anything. When you grow up, you will understand. Hey, if you treat the children of this generation like do whatever we are asked to do, when you grow up, you will understand. That is why a lot of you struggle with your teenager and young adults, because they just want to leave. They are tired. They just, And in the name of, I'm so intentional, I'm not taking nonsense. That is what has brought many parents to this point. I don't take nonsense with my children. No. If I say sit down, they sit down there. If I do like this, they're just coping. They develop a coping technique so that they can survive in your house. They're just looking at you. You, this woman, I will just keep quiet. But to you, you are raising an amazing child. Can we just be careful so that we don't lose our children? Are you an authoritarian parent? Are you? You know what this approach is? When you emphasize, you are very strict on your decision. Their opinion doesn't even count at all. At all. Just do. That is it. Sit down. Stand up. That is it. Just go. Carry the bag. Just do it. Is that what you're doing now? And this one can have so much negative effect on the children. They can grow up and become fearful, low self-esteem. And those ones that will not have what we direct negative effect, like the low self-esteem, being fearful, they are the ones that will grow up to be stubborn. And they will just talk back at you and like they're waiting. I'm an adult now, mommy. They're waiting. So it's two ways. It's either you get them hot or you get them cold. Either way, both are not good. So do the right thing and manage your parenting and let's question what is not working and give the children room to question what they think is not clear. Get it? I didn't say give children room to ask questions on what is not working. What is not clear to them? They are confused. It's okay to ask. Are you that parent that always suppress your children's emotion? I've said a lot about this. These are the things that are not working, and we need to question it. You say words like, you know, you are a boy. Boys don't cry. Come on, boy. Boys don't cry. I wish I have a way to just break these things down quickly and just leave here. Who tell you? Who said that to you, that boys don't cry? So you just want them to talk in all their emotion. You want them to suppress their emotion. Some of these boys, they became men and their wives are violating them. They're just going to keep quiet. And some of them will just die of blood pressure because they've been told over the years as a child that boys do not cry. Boys do not complain. What are you telling your boys? That boys don't cry? If you continue to say this, you are suppressing the child's emotion. You are suppressing their emotion. Boys say, you are a big boy. Girls don't do this. Girls don't do that. Please think about what you want to say to your children and ensure it is verified and it is going to be applicable to their life. Not what is going to destroy their life, but because that is what you have heard over the time. It has become so numb. And this can also bring about difficulty in emotional regulation. There are quite a lot of things that we have to question. But what are you questioning today? I don't want to start. I just feel like I don't want to go through my notes. But I want you to ask yourself, what are you questioning today? You have to question that method you're using. You have to be able to shift ground. What is it that you're questioning today? Your mom said this to you over the years, that, you know, as a girl, you don't just go to anywhere. Now that you have your period, you don't talk to boys. I know a lot of us will remember this and just smile. What are you questioning today? How are you going about your sex education with your boys, with your preteens, with your teenagers? How are you going about your sex education today? Are you going to say, they didn't tell me more than that, and I cannot say more than that. I don't know how to say it. My grandma said the same to my mom, and my mom said the same to me, and I'm okay. I didn't define myself. I didn't go astray, and that's all I'm going to tell my children. Sorry, I've already said at the beginning, if you were here, that your mom that was raised like that, and you were not in this generation. The social media, the world at large, even if your children are not on social media, they are going to school, they are meeting friends. Even if you block them from every channel, they talk to people. So it's a must for you to get skilled and say, they didn't tell me more than that, and I was fine. I don't know the problem of the generation. That's exactly what I will tell my child. Please get to work. Question what is not working. Please question. Ask questions. And give the children avenue to question what is not cleared. Mommy, why do I need to do this? Mommy, why do I have to pray before this? Mommy, why do I have to go out and tell you before I go? Mommy, why can't I go with my friends? Mommy, why can't I have a sleepover? If your house you don't have sleepover, you should know the why and pass across the message, align with your family values. But the problem why we cannot question a lot of things is we are just in a road and we don't have a road map. There is no family values. There is no mission that is guiding us. You just get Sarah. You just teach your child just like that. There is no, you are not pre-teaching them. Only when something bad happens, you tell them that is not good. That is not good. You are always telling that child that is not good, but you did not pre-teach the skill. Trust me, if you don't do sleepover, if you don't do quite a lot of things, or your children should not go to party, you should have good reasons why you want to tell them they can't go to their friend's birthday party. Because they're asking you, mommy, every time I'm being invited to a party, but I'm not allowed to go. Why? That is it. That is who we are in this family. We don't go to party. And you dare not ask me that question again. Hey, that is not the way to do it, oh. Can I say it again? You are approaching this thing in the wrong way with so much intentionality, mindset. It is a wrong approach. You should be able to question every message, every value that you have established as a family before you pass it on to the children. A child is asking you, why are we not allowed to go for our friend's birthday party? Trust me, if you don't have good answers, let the child go. I know I'm going to upset quite a lot of people today because a lot of us do not have good answers. But because as a child, we were not allowed to attend parties. And you just adopt this one because that is the way you were taught. But you didn't sit down and have a rethink about it. Why? What if you have a reason like, when I was much younger, I went to a party and these things happened and we decided as a family that this is going to be our value until this certain age. We are not going to be allowed to go to the party so that we can be secured and, take precautions. And by the time you reach this age, you'll be able to take full care of yourself. Does that not make sense? That is who we are. Never you ask me again. Know your why and let your why be cleared. Mommy, Daddy, can I go to my friend's party? Is an overnight party. You dare not go. You dare not go. You dare not go. Do you know that child can sneak out? The child can actually go. But you can teach the child and give reasons why the child should not go. Yet, when they are at a certain age, maybe a young adult, then give them the choice and tell them, this is who we are. We are not going to be allowed to go. But I believe, and I want you to take the decision and let me know what you think of or what you have decided on. But I trust you to make the good decision at a certain age. Because that is where you hear people saying, my child wasn't like this before. Oh, I can see comment there. My child wasn't like this before. My child got to the UK and it just changed. My child was so obedient one. He just went to UK. The child that you pampered and micromanaged all through their life in Africa, maybe in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, and you want to send this child abroad, and you know the way, especially my people, hello, my Nigerian people, 15 years, they're already out of secondary school. The child has gone to the UK to study the first degree at the age of 15 plus. And the child now, like they let the cat out of the net. And they just want to do whatever it is. And say, my child was so obedient. The UK changed my child. I will say this confidently that no country is changing any child. The child is just gotten to the point of self-discovery. You were just micromanaging the child before. The why was not cleared. Why was I doing this? Why was I just sit down when mommy says sit down? My friends are coming, you don't talk, just say, do like this. So the child has gone out and you're now saying, why are you dressing like this? Why are you doing this? Because now the child is free and the why wasn't clear. With this, from Facebook, there's a comment that says, true, that's the wrong advice they use to tell boys. They keep on suffering inside without expressing emotion. That is true. These are wrong things. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. There are quite a lot of things to say about these things, but a lot of them you cannot say it openly because it will just be like a wasted time and effort. There's some table you cannot shake on Facebook, except a closed room. So we have to really question ourselves. That child that you are having blood pressure on now, but you felt, Lord, I did everything. I did my best. The child was also always listening. Just that the child just went, how did I allow my child to go? You didn't do everything. You think you did what you think was right. You just repeated our past pattern that can never work for this generation. You repeated what your great grandmother taught your mother, and your mother taught you, and you doing it to the next generation, this particular generation, the Gen Zs. Let's talk about the Alpha Beta. What did they call them? It's not going to work. Just get a skill. But in a nutshell, if you're not taking anything home today, can I tell you this? Can you please always understand the reason behind every instruction you are giving to your children as a family value? And if possible, you always back it up with a story that is going to be intriguing and it's going to stick to the children for them to see clarity of what you're talking about. Better still, can you share a similar experience from yourself, with yourselves, from your own mistake as a child to the children? That is when it's going to be clear. Not just this is who we are and that is final and I don't want you to say that again. Let me go in peace. Do we have questions for today? I want to stop. Oh my, I wanted to do 30 minutes. All right, any question today? Any question today? I don't want to keep talking. I have some quite positive way. Maybe I'm going to treat that next week if I feel like. If not, we go to another thing. Any question today? Let me see. Facebook, YouTube, who is there? Thank you for joining me on YouTube. LinkedIn, thank you for joining me today. I want questions so that let me see. What do you want me to talk about on this topic? True, that's okay. That was Sister Bella's comment. All right, now I can see Sister Bella's comment. And who else is there? Visionary Glory, Daramola is here. Thank you for joining me today, madam. All right, I can see you there. All right, we have questions today. I really want to take in question. I think for this topic is not always, this is not the topic that you just talk. If you have a question, I'm just going to be here for 1 minute and be able to address it. What should we question? Are you questioning yourself? In the pursuit of saying I want my children to have the best behavior, I want my children to just come out the right way, to behave right. Can we have a pause on that and work on ourselves? Are we going to be good as a parent? Are we going to be the best parent to our children? Are we going to correct these things? You know, and this is one of the ways I use to deal with my children a lot. And I'm going to cite a quick example of what happened today. Today, I saw my children's study corner. I apologize, guys. Quite messy. A lot of papers, you know, They sharpen the pencil, but I can see it's not regular. It's quite messy. I can see papers on the table, and I asked them what happened and everything. And I immediately went to go and carry my own bag. I asked them to open their bag and let's clean the bag today. Today was the cleaning morning day. And I carried my most common handbag. You know, for me, I don't like changing bags a lot. I have this particular one that is most common from every outing I just carry. So I opened it and when I saw my daughter's bag, I understand she's an artist, but for her, you know, she can be so extreme with papers. The bag was full of papers, sharpeners, the sharpened pencils, and a lot of things were there. Art resources, crayons, everything was just messy. So I just left it there. I didn't do anything. I went straight to my own bag. I poured it out. And I realized how many receipts did I see inside? Vouchers, messy papers. And I called them and I said, look at my bag. This is not good enough. We need to work on ourselves. Look at mommy's bag. See everything I brought. I don't need these people. Why am I keeping them here? This is what I'm talking about, you leaving the children for a while, and let's work on ourselves. If we work on ourselves, and there's some pure reality that people don't like to talk about. This is one of the ways I use in my parenting styles, and trust me, it brings better results than you making the child to feel like they are the issues and they are not perfect. I just said, see, we need to work on ourselves. See, look at my bag and everything. Then immediately, okay. Then straight she went to her bag. She got the message. Immediately I started removing all the old receipts, you know, maybe the voucher, maybe I sent money to somebody, all these things. The papers were just there. I packed them, then I trashed it. I said, oh, my bag looks so good now. She was able to arrange her bag and everything was okay. Instead of saying, why is your bag always like this? You are not, I went to go and check my bag. First, is that bag actually clean inside? Before I come for this child. You work on you, then you get the desired results. This is how it works in this generation. But many times when we talk about modeling, we are not actually modeling, we are only telling. Can I say this for sure? It's high time you stopped telling and start show and tell. Can I say that again? If you're not getting anything today, I'm employing you as a parent, as a caregiver, that is high time you stopped to tell, but embrace show and tell. If you can embrace show and tell, your life, your parenting journey is going to be worthwhile. All right, I want to say thank you for joining me today. And I am going to be calling it today. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Madam Glory Daramola, for joining me from Lagos. Sister Bella is right there. I can see people are there, but if you don't say hi or drop comments, I'll not be able to see you. I know you are there, but I don't know who the person is. But I can see comments from Sister Bella. I can see comments from Madam Glory. By the way, the two of them are visioners. Hi, visioners, I hail you. All right, if you are there, you say hello. I'll be able to know that you are there. So as I go with this. Stop telling and embrace show and tell. All right, thank you again for joining me today. If you're seeing my face for the very first time today, my name is Oyelayo Esther, but you can call me Oye for short, and I am your parenting coach. And this is called the Parenting Essentials, and it's coming to you from the Vision Guide every Saturday afternoon. Now we've changed the timing. Please note the time. The time has changed for now till further notice because of other engagements. It's going to be at this same time for the next few weeks until announced. So thank you for joining me today. I want to say thank you for everybody for the warm congratulatory message on my account that was received. Where are you joining me from? You're joining me from that account that was stolen, but it's back now. I was not even putting my mind. Trust me, I did nothing. I did nothing. I just gave up on it. I was not thinking about it. It didn't bother me. But, you know, God will always pay you back with all, you know, it will not forget your labor. So the account is back. The other account that I opened newly about 3 weeks ago is still there. That is going to be our backup account. So please do follow me on this account. And I want to say thank you so much for the congratulations, but no, for the love. I just sometimes I like, okay, people really love me though. On Facebook, I can get these messages. Also, many WhatsApp messages I got on this, so many SMS. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so, so much. And I love you. Thank you. As we go, don't forget that parenting must be intentional. Parenting must be purposeful. Parenting must be full of vision, because this vision is what is going to guide us jealously all through this journey. And that is why we say only the vision guides. God bless you and bye for now. Stay blessed. See you next week.